What is up? Today I want to talk to you about the Lion and the Lamb Mandela Effect. This is kind of an old Mandela Effect people have been talking about since, I believe, 2016. But I got some information on it I want to add to the conversation a little bit. The way we're going to start this is I called a bookstore here in Ohio that was called Lion and Lamb Bookstore, and I thought that was a really interesting name. So I wanted to talk to them on the phone. It is an unedited clip because I don't want you to think there was any shenanigans. So there is a little bit of a hold time here and there when they're transferring me to the management. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to come back to a a mind map presentation because I want to show you guys some other things related to this Mandela Effect, and I want to give you my opinion of that phone call. Another thing I want to say is big shout out to EYA. She has a channel and she's been doing so much when it comes to these Bible changes as far as Mandela effects, and it's mind-blowing. This video wouldn't exist if not for EYA YouTube channel. The work that she has put in on Mandela effects when it comes to the Bible is outstanding. So big shout out to her, and make sure you get over there and check out her channel. Let's get on with the phone call, and then I'll talk to you guys about my opinions.
Afternoon, Lion and Lamb.
Hi, I have kind of a weird question for you, and you might be able to answer this, you might not be able to answer this, but I was just trying to understand where you guys got the name for your bookstore, Lion and Lamb.
I can put you through to upstairs. I'm not sure exactly where they got it, but do you want me to see if they can help you out?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. It's
okay.
not like a issue of national crisis or anything.
Okay. All right. Just one moment.
Yes, may I help you?
Hi, I have kind of a weird question for you, and you might or might not know the answer to this. I was just kind of trying to figure out where the name from your bookstore came from.
Well, it's basically the fact that first Christ came as a lamb, and when he returns, he'll return as a roaring lion.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just yeah, I'm just having a little trouble because I remember a certain passage in the Bible being different than it is now, and it's kind of weird. But I remember the lion shall lay down with the lamb, and now I'm seeing the wolf shall dwell with the lamb in the Bible everywhere I look, and it's not quite how I remember it. So I just thought I'd call and ask.
It's always been wolf. It really has, even though people have gone the other way. You know, I think it's what am I looking for? Well, the phrase doesn't catch me, but it's one of those things that has been said over and over and over again, and people just accept it as scripture.
Okay.
But it's always been wolf.
Wow. Okay. Man, I bet you get that question a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the type of thing where we were looking. A lot of what it was is back in the day we were looking for a name that other people didn't have, other Christian bookstores didn't have, and at that point in time there were a lot of Christian bookstores in Ohio.
Okay.
And so we were looking for a name that was unique, and I don't know if I can say this. We actually stole it from a Christian record label.
Oh, cool. Well, I don't think names are copyrighted, so I think you're okay.
Well, there used to be a record label owned by Pat Boone that was all Christian music, and I believe it was Lamb and Lion.
Nice.
Instead of Lion and Lamb, we flipped it because at the time we were in charge of a youth group.
Yeah.
And when we said Lamb and Lion, the girls in the youth group thought we were saying lemon lime, and they decided that a soft drink was not a good name for a Christian bookstore.
Nice.
So you now know the whole history behind our name. Okay.
That's amazing. Hey, listen, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Oh, not a problem, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
And goodbye.
There you have it. Thanks so much for checking out that phone call. I know there were some breaks in there where it was just pause when she went to get the manager, for me to talk to the manager. There was a pause in there. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It was an actual phone call, and I didn't want you to think there was any shenanigans. I wanted you to hear the whole thing uncut. So what's all this about? So this is about... right here, this Lion and the Lamb passage. Oh, you know what? Before I even get into this, let me send another shout out to EYA. This is EYA's channel, guys, and you definitely need to go over here and check it out because I really consider her an authority on the Bible changes. She really specializes in these changes that she's seeing in the Bible, and she's got a ton of videos on this channel about these Bible changes, these Mandela Effect Bible changes. So definitely get over here, subscribe to her, check her channel out. It's amazing. But she did a video on this channel, and let me find this video for you. It's because without her video, like, I wouldn't be doing this video. So there's one right there, but it was this video right here from 2 years ago that really kind of made me aware of this Mandela Effect change. She's done several videos on stuff like this. Like I said, guys, her channel's it's a great resource if you're interested in some changes that have happened in the Bible. And you know, I've came back to her channel many times. She does a great job, so be sure to go over there and subscribe. What I want to do is I want to kind of further this conversation of the Lion and the Lamb Mandela Effect. So let's go ahead and move on. So here's the basic Mandela Effect, so you understand. So the old one, as a lot of us remember it, and I pulled this from a daily devotions that was up, then the lion shall lie down with the lamb, and the bear shall eat grass like the ox, and the child shall play on the hole of the asp, and nothing shall hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. Okay, that's the old way that people remember it. And as you can see here, I can increase the size. Anyways, that's the old way. Now the new way is different, and the new way is the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them, and the cow and the bear shall feed, the young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. So it's quite different. It's quite different. All right. So what I wanted to add to this conversation is something I found on Reddit that I thought was really interesting. This guy says, I watched a change in real time in someone's reaction to it, right? There was a small shop in this market I go to sometimes. It's a Christian store owned by a guy who used to be a pastor but retired and opened up his own store to sell religious items. The store is called the Lion and the Lamb. I went in there to see if he had heard of the famous Bible change. He told me this wasn't possible and that he had just literally that week created new shirts to sell in his store, and on the back had written that exact verse himself. We then went over to a rack and pulled off a shirt that had a picture of a lion laying with a lamb on one side, and on the other was the verse, except the word wolf was where the word lion should have been. He kept saying that he wrote this up himself, and how could that be? Then it was like he became Agent Smith from the Matrix. The tension in the air was palpable. His expressionless face just kind of hung the shirt back up, and that was that. I have included pictures here, right? And then he included some pictures. And I gotta tell you guys, when I was reading this, I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. You could have made that whole thing up. And I think that's a problem with personal Mandela effects is, we have no true point of reference. I mean, it could just be something someone made up just to get views or something, or to get attention. That's the world we live in today, where people are trying to get attention all the time on the internet. So, you didn't know, but he included these pictures, and that kind of changed the game for me. And yeah, I know you can fake pictures, but why? Why would you? These pictures don't really look fake. This is the Lion and the Lamb. There's the logo for the bookstore. You see the Lion and the Lamb. And he took a picture of the store here that he was in, and this is clearly just a picture taken with a cell phone. And here's the picture of the front of the shirt, and it says Isaiah 11:6, and there's a lion and a lamb. And then here is Isaiah 11:6 on the back. The wolf will live with the lamb. And I think that's interesting because you heard on the phone call why they named their bookstore Lion and Lamb. And this right here is a picture on the shirt that is kind of saying something different. It's a lion laying with a lamb, and it's referencing this particular passage in the Bible that says the wolf with the lamb. And the guy's saying this dude was super surprised. Now, I wasn't sure if the Lion and the Lamb Bookstore is the same one that I called today. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure because I've never been to Salem, Ohio and visited that bookstore. I live in Ohio, but not from Salem. I'm from Springfield. So I didn't visit the actual bookstore. So I don't know if this is the same bookstore that he's talking about, the one I called. But I do think it's interesting because if this is the same bookstore, then the guy I talked to clearly had no, it's not the same story, right? It's not the same freaking story at all. And clearly this guy has a picture of this shirt. Clearly the guy put this picture with this passage. So very interesting. The other thing I want to point out is that people are always saying there's the Lion and Lamb Christian Bookstore. Now I will say I couldn't find any other bookstores called the Lion and the Lamb, just that one. So, but I gotta admit I didn't look super hard. But I think it would be really crazy if that was the same bookstore. I should almost just drive on down there to see. I should almost just drive down there to see. And I might do that. Not today though, man. I got other crap I gotta do. But maybe one of these days when I got some free time, maybe I'll drive down there and we'll check it out. But the other thing I wanted to show you was I want to point this out. Misremembered Bible quotes. And I think this is interesting. Before I get off this call, I want to point this out. We all know the phrase, God helps. Okay, so here's how many phrases do you think you know of the Bible are actually nothing more than phrases spoken by men? Here's an example of one I'm often asked about. In fact, the lion and the lamb shall lie down together. The convenient alliteration, lion and lamb, and when they say alliteration, they're talking about the L and the L. Two words with the same front letter, they say alliteration, is easy to remember. But it is not out of the Bible. at least not as a direct quote. The phrase goes back at most a few centuries and appears in sermons and commentary, but never as a direct Bible quote. So what I want to point out here, you guys, is like if you just read this and take it at face value, it sounds okay, that's fine, that's legit, whatever. That's an explanation. But what you have to understand is that explanation is so ludicrous. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like I was going to church like my whole life. And like they're sticklers for teaching what is exactly in the Bible. Like no one is just going to change the Bible just for alliteration because, oh, you know what? Let's just change that to Lion and Lamb because of the alliteration. That doesn't even make sense. Let's make a bunch of paintings and a bunch of pictures and a bunch of shirts with a lion and a lamb just because it sounds better. Like no one is going to just change the Bible because something sounds better. That doesn't make sense. But because of the picture it paints, and first of all, the picture it paints, it's like the picture it paints, all the pictures were painted, and I know they're not speaking picture literally here, they're speaking picture metaphorically, but what I'm saying is, metaphorically, how does a picture of a lion and a lamb hold more significance than a wolf and a lamb, if not for this passage in the Bible? The significance held meaning because of this passage in the Bible. Isaiah 11:6. So, you know, that's my take on it. But anyways, I would love to hear you guys' take on it. Let me know what you think. I just want to further this conversation, move the Mandela Effect conversation forward. And I thought this was a very interesting anomaly today. Hey guys, so there you have it. That is it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. Appreciate your support on this channel, and I would love to hear what you have to say about this particular Mandela Effect. I think it's absolutely insane. Let me know what you think. I want to hear it. See you guys. Peace.